Hey kids, what's happening? It is a warm one. It's 95 degrees today. It's 95 degrees today and sunny. The pollen's out, gets in my throat, makes me cough. There's a heat advisory, so they're telling you don't hang around outside, and most likely than anything, don't involve yourself in heavy, physical activity in this kind of heat. Drink plenty of water and stay hydrated. And if you feel yourself going downhill, you got to get cooled down. You got to get in the shade. You got to, put some cold water on your head or something, because you can get heat exhaustion real quick. And especially at my age, So the other day, when I was at the Spiker swap meet, I had walked around for over an hour in that heat, looking at stuff, talking to people, and I didn't drink anything except my coffee in the morning. So, by that afternoon, I started feeling it. I started getting a little queasy, and I thought, man, I went and sat in the shade for quite a while and just kind of regrouped and got my act back together to where I could ride home. And then I rode the scooter home, parked in the garage, but it was so blasted hot in here, just putting the bike away and stuff, I started getting dizzy, went in the house, just sat in the air conditioning and didn't move for like an hour. And until I could get myself, and you'd think I'd know better because I spent my whole career working outdoors, and I know how quickly heat exhaustion can get you. And once it gets you, it can be a killer. It can absolutely kill you, heat stroke, and you don't want that. So in this hot weather, yeah, you got to watch yourself. The other thing you got to know about riding too is, when you're out in this hot weather and you're riding, you're not really sweating, but that wind is just evaporating the water right out of your body, and you can dehydrate real quickly. So it's important that when you're riding that you drink lots of water too. Oh, well, I hope all you guys are doing well. I made a video on the weekend, not too far from here. They have a private county park that is open for rental use, I guess. Most of the time it's closed to the public, but it was hosted by the Buckskinner's encampment, and I don't know what group it is, but these guys are reenacting. They really enjoy that lifestyle where they have teepees and tents, and they cook over the fire, and they dress in all the old period attire, like an old trapper or a settler. And it's pretty interesting. So I rode the bike down there. I took the camera with me. Now, the problem... The big mistake that I made is I took the Insta360, and I've told you guys that there's a learning curve to that, and I'm not there yet. I'm still learning the thing. So, I'll show you what I ran into some trouble. Yeah, and I actually screwed up the whole video and came up with a big 0. So. I was going to show you what exactly happened here. This is the Insta360 camera. You'll see it has a lens on both sides. So it captures the video, all the way around 360 degrees. You just keep the camera in one position and you can walk around, and when you edit it, you can choose, whichever direction you want it to have on your movie. So it's pretty neat, but like I said, you got to learn how to use it first. It also has this extendable wand that comes with it. I think it goes out to, what's that, about 4 foot maybe. So you can put it out in front of you. And the interesting thing is when you're filming with this camera, it does not pick up the stick, so you won't see the stick in the camera. And the funny thing is, if you watch people that are using these, you won't see the stick, but you'll see their hand going like this. You know, the cupped hand, because that stick is in there, but it's invisible. It takes it out. So anyway, yesterday when I was using this, I had it on the bike. Now this is a setup that I had. You'll see I got this handlebar clamp, so it's clamped onto the handlebar, and then it's got this other odd thing, and there's a ball joint here and a ball joint here. So I screw the extendable one, it has a little threaded thing on the end. I screw that in, and I set the camera up about right in the middle of my windshield. You know, and I can adjust it, I can move it down a little bit, so you kind of want it right in the center. So it's going to film me sitting back here on the bike. At the same time, it's filming the road up ahead. And then when I edit it, I can rotate, you know, and decide which picture that I want on the video. So I'm riding along, and this is the first problem I had. I had the camera on, I'm riding along, it starts doing this. Coming towards me, just from the wind and the vibration. Well, next thing you know, it's like, you know, right here in my face. I'm sitting on the bike and I got this camera like bobbing like right in my face. So I had to pull off on the side of the road and you know, figure out how to fix that. I mean, you can see I don't have it tight enough right now, and it's just kind of dropping down there. So yeah, so I mean, and this is just plastic too, so it only tightens up so much. So I don't know if this is the greatest. I don't know if there's a better option to this or not, but if there was, I would probably go with it. So then here was the next problem that I had. When I was using this camera, on the back side here, there's these two little buttons. And if you push this button, it changes the mode from a 360 degree to like a standard camera, where it's only going to take the picture out of one side, you know, just like this. In order for me to change the direction, I have to physically turn the camera around to change the view. So I'm thinking that it's filming 360 degrees, but when I was up here moving it around, I accidentally, inadvertently pushed that button, doop, and it went to the regular camera shot. So I continue on my ride, and I get to the Buckskinner camp. I unscrew the camera off of the bike here. It's got the little threaded thing in the bottom and a little threaded screw there. And I'm carrying the camera around like this in my hand. I had it extended out a little bit, about like that, and I'm holding it out and I'm walking around, and I come to a Indian teepee there, and I stick it inside the teepee so you can get see what it's like inside the teepee. And I'm going around and I'm thinking, well, I don't have to stick it in anybody's face or anything, because this camera, it films everything 360 degrees, and when I edit it, I can actually zoom in on somebody over on my left, or I can zoom in on something over on my right, or I can, turn the camera back at myself and watch my ugly kisser, grinning as I walk along. We put this little sock over the lens, and it protects it so you don't scratch up the glass. So there you go. So I get back home, and I start editing, and I pull up my video, and I'm like, why can't I, turn this picture around? You have to put all of the video files on the Insta360 studio program to use it, which I did, but I couldn't get any views. It was just like whatever the camera was aiming at, which was pretty much you know, my belly and my pants down to my knees. That's all I was filming. And you know, this is what you're looking at. And I'm like, oh, why can't I change the direction of it? Because it's a 360 camera. And I messed around with it for probably a half hour, and I got so frustrated. And I said, all right, I'm not doing something right here. Something's wrong. So I got out I went up to the computer, and I pulled up the tutorial on YouTube, which is what you do when you don't know how to do something. And after watching for a few minutes, the guy talks about that little button that changes the mode from 360 degrees to a regular, you know, camera shot. I was like, what? I pick up my Insta360 camera, I look, sure enough, there's that little button. I push it, boop, it changes back to 360. I was like, you mean... So none of the video that I took, anyway, to make a long story short, none of that video was usable. I had to trash all of it. And I mean, that would have been a pretty fun video too. I had some pretty cool stuff on there. I was riding with old Fred for a little while in the morning, and so I had him on the, or I assumed I had him on the video. We were on some really nice roads. I even got on a gravel road yesterday. I mean, it was that far back in the boonies where the road just turned into gravel. You get into the back country here in Amish country, and it's like they don't even pave the road. It's just gravel. And I don't know if you've ridden on a gravel road on an 800-pound Harley Davidson, but you got to kind of know what you're doing, and you got to keep rolling along, keep your speed up, and don't get too wobbly with it. Just keep it straight and narrow. And boy, I had a big cloud of dust behind me. So that was fun, you know, and then the whole Buckskinner thing, I like that. I used to do that way back, Buckskinner camp. I have this picture back in the hallway. It's an old picture that I took of me when I was sitting by the fire at one of the Buckskinner camps. That was early in the morning. You could see it's real foggy, and I had a duster or something on, and it was cooking over the fire. I mean, you see my pot there, and yeah, it's a good time. It was something that it was relaxing to me. I didn't have the whole setup, you know, with one of their canvas tents. Like they use everything they do is like period style, you know, going back to the 1700s or in that era. So I didn't have any of that gear, but I had a little tent that I would set up. And then I had the coonskin hat, and my mother made me a muslin shirt with the puffy sleeves. It's what the settlers wore back then. So, you know, I fit in with the crowd. We cooked over the fire, and we had a pretty good time. And then I was into the crafting stuff too. I made like a bear claw necklace and a bunch of other cool things, some pouches, things like that. We shot muzzle loaders. I mean, it was a fun time. But I kind of grew out of that, and haven't done that for many years. I still have some of my craft stuff, and even actually some of the stuff that I made that I don't even use anymore because I'm not into the. I guess I could have put some of that stuff on to go to the Buckskinner encampment, and they would have thought that I was part of the show there. Anyway, so we live and we learn. We make mistakes, we pick ourselves up by the bootstraps, and we carry on, and we try again until we get it right. Sometimes we don't ever learn, you know, sometimes we just keep making the same mistake. Hopefully I'll get this Insta360 thing down, and I think it's a pretty cool camera. The first time I used it, I did okay, because I didn't hit that button. But this last time was a disaster. My grass seed's coming in nice here. I should probably put a little water on it today. But look at this FedEx truck. Drove right through. I mean, he's like 2 feet off of the driveway into my freshly seeded dirt. How does somebody even drive like that? I mean, aren't these guys professional drivers? How can you be that dumb to see that that's freshly seeded grass? You come up the driveway and you're just going to plow right through it. I mean, some of these drivers must be morons. I was real irritated. I think it'll heal up over time, but it could have been a lot worse. But, you know, it is what it is. I did spray my entire house all the way around as high as my sprayer would go with commercial grade insecticide. And it works too, because I've already found some dead bugs in the house that I didn't even know were in the house. You know, they die and they fall out on the floor. I found some dead bugs laying around on the sidewalk. In fact, I haven't seen any of the driller bees or the carpenter bees since I sprayed, and I actually saw a dead one laying on the sidewalk too. So kills a lot of stuff. You know, I spray it all around the foundation, and that keeps ants or anything from crawling up there, spiders or whatever. I spray around all the windows. The old air conditioner is running 24/7 in this weather. I'm starting to sweat just walking around today. But I thought I'd show you how well my garden's doing right now. It tends to like the heat. It got beat down a little bit. We had some really severe thunderstorms that, you know, really heavy rains, heavy winds. So it's looking good. The tomatoes are coming along. I have to come along and make sure they're all going inside the basket. You don't want them to grow outside the basket, or they'll just go on the ground. Most of them seem to be following suit here pretty well. Some of them aren't tall enough yet to stay in the basket, but oh, and then this one that I had to chop the roots off. I cut it off with a razor blade and put some rooting compound on it and stuck it back in the ground, and it's growing. It actually worked. So you can actually grow a tomato from a cutting. I could cut one of these branches off, put some rooting compound on it, stick it in the dirt, and it'll grow. My squash, notice I even got a little baby squash there already. I don't know what's going on with these yet. These zucchini, I don't see, there is a flower on there. But once that starts producing zucchinis, they come like crazy. And then, of course, my sunflower patch over here is looking pretty good. But it does need, I do need to bring that little tiller out here and go over everything again, till everything up and get these little weeds out of here. Because if you let them go within a week or two, they just get as big as the plants. I don't know why weeds grow faster than the plants, but they do. I had a little project going on back here by the pond too. Later this summer, Val's daughter, my stepdaughter, and her family are coming out to spend some time with me. So I've been picking up sticks and some rotten logs and stuff, putting them on the fire so we can have a campfire. But she had mentioned something about that it would be nice if they could, you know, play in the pond or swim in the pond. And so this is my beach area, and it looked like this over here with all of the shore weeds. Now I sprayed Shore Clean on that and got rid of the weeds, but they were all along here too. So I took my rake and I would stick my rake in and pull, and it would pull these out by the root. I don't know if you could see the bass swimming around there or the spawning beds. The bluegill are swimming around in circles there in their spawning beds. And the bass, he's over there waiting for the eggs to hatch so he can eat all of the little minnows that come out. Yeah, he gets hungry. The bass, they're pretty voracious eaters. And he's just patrolling along here. So anyway, what am I going to do here? Now you can see there's a little bit of gravel here. Well, years ago I had all this filled in with really nice pea gravel. But as you can see over the years, it kind of filled in with from the leaves and the weeds and everything, and covered up the gravel. So I'm going to get a load of gravel and have it dumped in here. The pea-sized gravel I got. This is the stuff that I got here. You know, it's about dime-sized. And so I'll get a load of that and put it in here. But that is like walking on marbles. And then I'm going to get some coarse washed sand. It's not like beach sand. It's a little grainier, but it's washed so it doesn't have mud or dirt in it. And you can spread that over top of this pea gravel, and it'll settle in and it'll lock everything in place. And then I'll have a decent beach. And I mean, it'll only go out maybe 6 feet or so. But a child can sit here on the shore and play in the water, and I'll have it nice up here instead of mud. You know, we'll have some gravel up in here too. And yeah. Now, if you did want to swim here, for an adult, the best option is to use the dock out here. And I won't swim by myself because just of the danger of if I were to jump in that water and get in trouble and there wouldn't be anybody around to help me, my body would be floating here for a week before somebody would find me. So I don't go in the water by myself. If somebody else is here, fine. But see, I do have a gravel bed in the water here. And when you jump off the end of this dock, right at the very end of the dock, it's 8 foot deep. So as you go out, it gets deeper and deeper really quick. And out in here, it's like 13 feet. So if you were to dive right in here, you'd really have to swim down to hit the bottom. And I've done it many, many times. It gets really dark down there. It gets freezing cold down there. And then your hand eventually plunges right into that soft, gooey black muck. It's really, really pleasant. Yeah. Oh, there's my cat. That's my lone big cat that I have. He's the only one left. Now, there are a lot of small cats in here, but they're kind of feral, so, you know, he's more tame. He's not afraid of me. He'll come up, and they'll eat out of your hand pretty much. And all the bluegill come swimming over, too, to see what I'm doing. But those other catfish, they're a little more, they stay down in the deeper water. They don't come up yet. Now, when they get older and they get used to me, they'll probably come up here in the shallow like this guy. He gets all excited and goes around in circles thinking that I'm going to feed some bread or something to him. That's what the kids will come out here and throw bread in and feed them. So, yeah, they get all excited and think they're going to get something to eat. I don't have any bread today. Oh, there's a couple of bass, 3 bass. 3 bass over there, and the cat. Huh. Not very often I see 3 bass swimming together, and they're all maybe about 1-2 pounders. That's about it. I've never seen anything much bigger in here. Next question you're going to ask me is, do you fish? You know, I love fishing, and I used to do it. I used to take my kids fishing when they were little. But I don't fish my pond. It's like, it's kind of like my aquarium. They're like my pets. And I don't want to hook them, have one swallow a hook, and then kill the thing by trying to get the hook out of there. So, no, I don't fish the pond. I just take care of it. I maintain it. I see that the pond stays healthy. I leave the cattails back there for the bullfrogs and the turtle. But I maintain that so it doesn't encroach the rest of the shoreline. And it's a lot of maintenance. I mean, to maintain a pond is almost like maintaining a yard. You don't mow the pond, but you have to control the weeds, you have to control the algae, you have to take care of your fish stock. And yeah, it's kind of a fun, it's just another part of having a nice piece of property and maintaining it, I guess. Now here's a job that I don't like, and it's part of maintaining this property. But you'll see how these bushes keep leaning over and encroaching over into the yard. So I have to come along here with my cutting equipment, and I have to, eventually these are got to come out. Otherwise they're just going to keep falling over into the yard. And when you're mowing, you're constantly ducking under this stuff. To make it worse, some of this stuff they're briars with thorns that come out, and one of them things catch you when you're on the mower. It'll rip your flesh, man. Rips the flesh, and it's not fun. Remember this area I had this spring brush hogged it all down, and it's all coming back up now with just the natural growth. Just kind of a habitat for butterflies, spiders, insects and stuff. But it doesn't grow up into bushes like that stuff. That's called autumn olive, those bushes there. And they're very invasive, and they are kind of prickly. You gotta wear some gloves when you cut them down. And it looks like I'm gonna have to attack that with a chainsaw here pretty quick, because they're not getting any smaller. They just get bigger and taking over more and more. Well, cats, I'm gonna head in the house where it's cool. It's just too hot out here to do anything physical. I'm already sweating, and all I've been doing is walking around a little bit. I would like to get some exercise, though. I guess I'm just gonna have to find something to keep me busy in the house then. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Thanks for leaving the comments. You guys are great. You've helped me out a great deal with the comments. Giving me some great ideas, giving me some good suggestions, and recommending some good products. And I love it. I love it. It's a huge help to me. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have this DJI camera, which I think is a pretty nice camera. I'm really liking it. I think the picture quality is excellent. I might not have all the settings on it correct right at this moment. I'm gonna have to, again, watch another tutorial and make sure I have everything set up on this camera the way it should be. Anyways, I'll continue to keep pumping out the videos one way or another. I apologize for losing the Buckskinner camp video, but it is what it is. There ain't no bringing that back. Well, thanks for watching, cats. Till next time, I'll catch y'all later.